welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadil Kabiro, ready for our political conversation. Usual one, simple, truthful and biased. Prof putting it across in a hard-hitting way. Prof, CSs have been sworn in today. Tell me, it's like a series we had about CSs and the whole process. Now they've been sworn in. What would you like to say? Someone told me nominees have been approved, waiting for your conversation with Jadil Kabiro. I love my country, despite it being a poor, dirty, third world country, as usually put it. This is Peter, one of our fans on Twitter. What do you have to say now? You are so pissed about it.
We must begin by congratulating those who have been appointed.
All of them.
And sworn, they have been sworn in.
Today.
Congratulations to all of them, without exception. And we pray that God gives them the wisdom and the strength to serve their fellow countrymen. We pray hard that they deliver for this country. We ask them to forgive us if we might have said anything that offended them. But they should also know we said what we said not because we hated any one of them. It was because of love for country. In our own assessment, and it could be wrong, we found a number of them wanting. But now that they have become cabinet secretaries, we submit ourselves and we wish him the best. And we hope they will do a good job.
Why would you speak that way? I was hoping for a different response. You've said forgive us. Some people are still thinking about parliament, the likes of Penina Malone's a CS now. So I'm thinking she was not approved by the committee, but still parliament approved her. Why aren't you talking about that? Should we just
No, you have not asked me. You should ask me.
I was thinking that's where you
My
go.
initial reaction is that now that they have become ministers, I have no power to remove them.
Okay.
So I must congratulate them. It's just normal.
Yeah.
And because I said a number of things about a number of them, I must apologize. Say, I'm sorry, we are sorry that perhaps we said something that I could have hurt you. But to me, it is in the line of duty.
Okay.
I've always said this, and I want it to be understood. Anything I say, either on TV, in print media, on my channel, is born out of, first, my love for my country. Two, out of my own assessment of the situation. And you know I can be wrong.
Yes.
You know. You know me, I don't hate anybody.
Yeah.
And I don't insult anybody. I know people who do the job I do. They say all manner of things about their opponents. I know people who say things about Raila. People working where I'm in the same industry with me. Educated people more than me. They said all manner of nasty things about Ruto. You know?
Yeah.
You know them.
Yes.
Did you see me saying anything against Ruto? Something insulting?
No.
I don't. That's not my style. So that's why I'm saying, if anything I said offended, and it's likely that some of the things I said could have offended some of those people who have become ministers. And I'm not saying this because I want anything from them. I want nothing from them. First of all, I want nothing from anybody.
Okay.
I've always said that. So I'm not saying this so that someone say Manyora na anataka kwenda kwa Linturi ampatie ka parastatal moja, akuwe chairman, ama ampatie consultants. If it comes, I want to refuse. But that's not why I'm saying this. And I'm not saying this because I'm scared.
Talk to me then.
I'm not scared. Manyora is never scared. There is absolutely nothing that you can scare me about.
You know, despite you saying that, people don't know the calls you receive, people telling you to stop speaking about
people
politics.
need to stop talking about this, and they think I don't insult anybody. And that's why I'm not afraid. I am at peace with myself.
Before we got...
People see me even in the streets and they wonder, you don't care about your security. I even wonder. I go to a club, I escort a friend, having a drink, and I'm there. Yesterday, the other day when, you mean you can come to a place like this? But I don't know. Kwani mimi ni adui gani? Mimi sina adui.
Before we continue with this conversation on CSs, tell me about what this means about the president. If you have people like you openly criticizing what he does, does this show some level of democracy in the country?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Because what would surprise me if the president say attacked me. Manyora, you are saying that
or some of his aides.
Or that will nobody has ever done it. I therefore think democracy is at work. I don't think somebody can be primitive enough to want to injure me or to hurt me. I mean, what have I done? It will be very stupid for somebody to come for me. Absolutely stupid.
You're there criticizing.
Because there's nothing you'll gain
by
coming for me. I'm a simple man. I own nothing. So there's no property of mine you'll take. I don't even have a job I'm worried about. I have a simple job at the university which you can take if you want.
Yeah.
I have a simple life. If you want it, you can go with it. To me, I'm a simple, ordinary Kenyan
Let's get
who
back.
loves his country. You must underline that.
Love.
I love this country. And when I criticize the president or anybody else, it is born out of the love I have for this country. And I believe I'm making my small contribution to make this country a better place, however small the contribution.
Okay.
Let's go on.
Talk to me now about the process, because as much as now they've been sworn in, we are moving ahead with now government being put into place, the executive taking shape now.
Yes.
The process though, when you saw Penina Malonza, the committee rejecting her and then being approved by Parliament, no appointee was rejected by Parliament. We look at Moses Wetangula, he's leading the committee, he's the speaker. What does this say about the future processes that are to come? And should Kenyans be concerned when a name is nominated and then it seems like
the new
there's no
constitution
fairness?
aborted. We suffered so much. We struggled so much. We lost so much. We lost lives, we lost people, we lost property for a number of decades. Then we thought we had achieved it with a multi-party in 1992. We realized, no, it wasn't quite there. We weren't quite there. Then we struggled and we almost collapsed in 2007. Say, hey, tukiendelea hivi, tutaisha. So 2010, we gave ourselves a new constitution. We thought it was a new beginning. It aborted. That's where the problem is. So we are back to square one. Nothing has changed.
Okay, and the question should be, what is the solution, looking at Ruto, who's supposed to be our
There are only
visionary?
two ways. And then I keep telling Kenya, there are only two ways. We either go right or persist on the left where we are. If we go right, we will face our challenges realistically, we will make changes, we will play our politics properly, we will do economic development truthfully, truthful to ourselves. Occasionally, we will have to bite the bullet. Occasionally, we shall have to do things that annoy the majority, but they are, in the long run, in the interest of the same majority. If we go right, we are on the left, where two things are happening. One, we are playing politics with everything.
Politics.
So long as people are happy and hoodwinked, and they are clapping for us.
Is that really where we are? Because you're looking at...
That's where we are.
Because Ruto, as he put it, remember this conversation he had with Richard about Unga, people are not really happy with what is happening. So who is happy when you say...
No, they are happy to the point of electing certain people, clapping for certain people when they go to marketplaces. You succeed by hoodwinking them and doing that. And then the tribe comes in over the years. Even when somebody has stolen, we defend him because he's from our tribe. You know, that's what I'm saying. We are content. We are contented to be who we are, which is like a painkiller.
Okay.
Something else that is happening on the left is we are continuously embracing impunity and creating mediocrity as the order of the day. You see? Then the result of that is going to be a shift from the people I'm saying who are happy to be where they are to people who are highly charged. Because there are no programs to make life better. Inevitably, the hard times plus the impunity, the recklessness with which we are running our affairs as a people, these two will combine and there will be an implosion. Poof! And that's what I keep calling a revolution.
Okay. And who is likely to start this revolution? We're seeing what is happening in the UK.
The stomach. It is the stomach.
The
impunity. Like you see, you have started by what's going on in Parliament. Parliament has done its job. Congratulations to Parliament. Congratulations to Moses Wetangula. But you don't know how many people you have annoyed. That's how countries go down. Yeah. People are so annoyed with this thing of vetting. You see, they don't know. Impunity covers your thinking. You can't think. You think you are a god. This vetting has annoyed very, very many people. It's like our leaders continue vomiting on our shoes. in the way Edward Clay, the British High Commissioner, told us.
Yeah.
They are poking their fingers into our nose. People are getting annoyed. That's how you build anger. Now, this anger they are building, of that impunity, of young boys of yesterday parading hundreds of millions of shillings as property they own, titles upon titles of parcels of land. They don't know how much people are getting annoyed. And the people who are getting annoyed are also, incidentally, people who are sleeping hungry. People who have not been able to take their children to school. People who have watched loved ones die because they could not afford 10,000 to take them to hospital. Somebody who could not call a taxi at night to take their daughter to the young child to hospital, and the child would have survived. But the child died at night because he could not afford 500 for Uber. Those are the people that are watching this impunity going on in Parliament. So when you look at that, that's how then things get out of control.
I want to know, do you think the president is in a cocoon that he still appoints these CSs that some say have failed the integrity test? Who is failing who? Is the president just in another world? Or
Waswahili wanasema mtadu. That's what I'm calling impunity. When you are a leader, you get there. And there are people in leadership today, including the president, who are there a few years ago, some years back, during the so-called this nonsense they call National Prayer Breakfast.
Yeah.
You
call it nonsense.
It's rubbish.
Yeah.
The one I sent Richard to represent me last year.
Yeah.
Or is it this year?
This year.
There was a former minister, and I don't know why people don't listen. So you walikuwa wanaenda pale kuonesha fashion ile wamevaa ama kukunywa chai tu. Me, I listen to that man. I really listen to such rubbish. But I don't know, for some reason I was listening.
Yeah.
A white Mzungu was one of the invited guests. He was a religious man. In his earlier life, he had been a cabinet secretary, a minister. He explained how he finally ended up in jail. So he was a jailbird, an ex-convict.
Okay.
A minister to a convict, to a jailbird, and now a church person coming to talk to them. I don't know whether they didn't get it. He was taking them through how impunity develops. Unaanza kidogo, you do, then people are not talking. Then you add another thing. Then you realize, you begin to think you are a god. Then impunity, full blossom. Then you don't give a hoot, you don't give a damn, and you don't care about anything.
You know,
and that's how he found himself in jail.
So you're saying this process in Parliament is a clear indication of impunity?
You don't care. It doesn't matter to you as Wetangula or as President Ruto that Kenyans are annoyed about this kind of people. It doesn't matter to you. It doesn't get to you that the country is speaking otherwise. That people are feeling bad. People are wondering how in heaven, how in the world can you get a person of this caliber and tell us you want this to be our minister? With all these issues surrounding these fellows, you see, it is like we are nothing. What we feel is nothing. That is how impunity works. And that's how governments go down. And that's how empires collapse. That's how kingdoms collapse. That's how kings lose their kingdom. And I've said this many times. When you have lost an election, good luck, Jonathan. He wrote a letter. And I don't know why people don't want to. You know, when you are like a president or a very big man, you can't see everything. Those around you, you should surround yourself with a few people who can tell you the truth. Even people like Raila. They should surround themselves with a few people, one or two people, who can pull you aside and tell you the truth. There's a letter written, I think, something written by Mahama or somebody, a former Ghanaian president who had lost an election. And he said, there were people willing to tell me things, but I chased them away from me. I was surrounded by people who told me what I wanted to hear. Looking back, I wish I had listened to some of those guys. Some of my trusted friends. I couldn't entertain them. I kicked them off.
Is that your advice for Ruto?
And then there was good luck Jonathan who talked about losing an election and he could have done many things, but he didn't want to do. I was confusing the two. The point I'm trying to make is simple. When you are down, you always look and say, how? You mean I was this blind? You mean I couldn't see this? So if you are Ruto and you bring people like this, or Kinawetangula, and this brings you trouble, you'll ask yourself, Kwan, how important was it that I make this man a minister? Was it a matter of life and death? It's important to listen to people who may say things you don't want to hear.
Calling it utadu.
Utadu impunity is what brings people down.
Thanks so much for tuning in to a political conversation. My name is Gerald Cabrera. Until we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.